Thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. I'm Naijha Wright-brown, co-owner of the Land of Kush Vegan Soul Bistro in Baltimore and executive director of the Black Veg Society. Well, we're coming up on another exciting vegan weekend. Today's guest is Adriea Clarke, and she is going to talk to us about the So Vegan Block Party. How are we doing today, Adriea?
I am well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. I mean, I've been, it's just been vegan stuff after vegan stuff. Last week was the GED Veg Fest in DC, where you came out, and before that, it was the Maryland Vegan Restaurant Week, and now, we're going to see what's going on in Richmond. Tell us all about yourself, Adriea. Who you are, what do you do?
I am a CT and X-ray technologist. I have been doing that professionally for 15 years. I am a 5-year vegan. I used to be 100% whole foods plant-based, and then I got a little lazy. You go out to those events and you got all the good foods and you're like, you know what, I want to try it. Yeah, but that's a little bit about me. I love to travel. I love to eat. I absolutely love to eat.
Me too. It's about the food.
It's always about the food. Let me tell you, once I became vegan, that took my traveling to the next level, because it's like, where can I go that's going to have something good for me to eat?
So how and why did you become vegan? So you said you've been vegan 5 years. Why? And how did you do that?
So I had to have surgery. I had a 13 centimeter cyst on my ovary, and I had that surgically removed, and I was going for follow-up appointments, and I was getting ultrasounds, and the doctor said, we found a fibroid on your uterus. And I was like, I'm not having surgery again. Not going to happen. And so I started looking at holistic ways to get rid of it. And I came across an article that talked about a plant-based lifestyle. And so I did a little more research, a little bit more reading, and a year prior, I had already cut out a lot of meat items out of my diet. Like, I no longer was eating beef and pork. And about 6 months before going vegan, I had decided to be pescatarian. And so when I came across the article and I came across the book, it's called The Fibroid Elimination Diet, the Fibroid Elimination Bible. It had a whole list of things to eat and not eat. And for me, it was significantly easy to eliminate the few things that I was still eating, the seafood and the dairy, out of my diet, and be plant-based. I decided to do that for 6 months because at the 6-month mark, I had a follow-up appointment, and I wanted to see, 6 months of eating no meat, no dairy, what is that going to do for my body? Is it really going to make a difference? And sure enough, at the 6-month mark, I had the ultrasound, and I asked the doctor how big the fibroid was. He said it was 4 centimeters. Well, wait a minute. How big was it last time? He said it was 5 point. Nope. Stop talking. So you're telling me it shrank. And that right there was the commitment to the vegan lifestyle.
That's amazing. Because where I come from, that's all you hear. People got fibroids, cysts, they're getting hysterectomies, all type of stuff to remove whatever the damage that's being done in the body. And I have to say, it's the diet, y'all. It's the diet, garbage in, garbage out. You have to eat, you have to eat better. You have to eat compassionately. You can't eat stress. You can't eat dead animals,
Yes.
So, and my transition took 3 years too. I was a pescatarian, and then, getting rid of the cheese was an issue, but that stuff is going to kill you in abundance. We have some folks saying hello. Hi, Tina. Thank you for tuning in. Tom, great to see you in the comments. And yes, dairy and seafood. No, go vegan. And he says he's happy that you did. Well, let's move on and talk about what's happening this weekend at the So Vegan Block Party. Let's hear that story. Why a So Vegan Block Party?
So I've always been one to enjoy festivals and events. And after becoming vegan, I noticed that there were events around the country, and I was traveling up and down the East Coast to travel to these events and to, of course, experience the vegan cuisine that was featured in that area. So, in Florida, there is a large Hispanic community. So you can only imagine the cuisine that you would taste down there. So I was at an event in Florida, and I noticed that the demographic did not reflect what I was seeing back home. As far as the community that's here in Richmond, Virginia, the demographics in Richmond is 49% African American. And I did not see a whole lot of Black vendors and attendees at the event in Florida. And in thinking about that, as far as veganism here in Richmond, I was like, what can we do to bring veganism more mainstream in Richmond, Virginia? And so,
hello.
yeah. And so that is really what spurred the idea, but I really didn't move on it. Because I am in healthcare, I had always wanted to be a traveling technologist. And that is where you go on assignments around the country. And I took my first assignment in Arizona. I left on Christmas Day, and they called me and they said, your contract has been canceled. And so I flew back home, and I was laying in bed, and I was just all upset. And I was just like, what am I going to do now? I have to find more work. And suddenly the idea was take that energy and put it into the festival.
Right, exactly.
And so I moved.
We connected at the Fairfax Veg Fest, I remember. If I remember correctly, our Black Veg Society was vending at Fairfax Veg Fest. I think that was in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, 2019. And the first thing that you asked, or one of the things that you asked when you came up to the table was, do you have one of these in Virginia? Yes. Do you have one of these organizations in Virginia? And it's like, and at that time it was Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland. We are rebranding to Black Veg Society. So, we're working through that transition. And it was like, no, but, the information that we have is universal. I mean, you can go online and, we can support you still and see what's up in Virginia and make some connections there. And then you started talking to me about organizing something in your area. And, fast forward now, this is how many years that you're doing this?
This is the second year. It would be the third, but we all know how 2020 went.
Yes. Vegan Soul Fest suffered as well. We lost 2 years of Vegan Soul Fest, and Vegan Soul Fest is very much missed by myself, my partner, and a lot of folks. So, but it's Absolutely. Great that you're doing this. Talk to us about the first festival, and then we'll get to what's happening this weekend. How was that experience?
Well, the first festival, it exceeded my expectations. But one of the things that I did was, because I have traveled a little bit to go to these vegan events, I've come across a lot of vendors. And so because they've seen my face, and in having those conversations with those specifically Black vendors at events like the Vegan Hampton Roads Festival and the Richmond Veg Fest, DC Veg Fest. When you make those connections, it was easy for me to then go back and reach out and say, hey, I'm doing something. I would like to invite you to participate. Remember me from this. Remember when we had this conversation about that. So by accident, I was making these connections. So like I said, it was significantly easier to reach back out to invite them to participate. And so it was just a lot of that legwork, going out, making the connections if I haven't already, networking, asking others to reach out to this individual if they had a better relationship than I did. But again, the legwork, just asking. In 2019, we had 54 total vendors. 17 of them were food vendors. We had about 2,500 people show up for a first year event. So I'm pretty proud of myself.
Excellent. That's excellent.
That's
amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. Congratulations. So of course you had to do it again.
Of course I had to do it again. Of course.
So let's talk about what's been going on. So we missed last year because of COVID, right? All the stuff. I'm sure you were starting your planning. Talk to me about the challenges at that time while we're going into COVID and you're trying to plan for last year's event.
Well, the biggest thing with that was, of course, nobody being able to come out, nobody really being able to participate. Excuse me. I was going to move forward with the event, but the biggest thing that kept me from moving forward was the fact that the city said, no, you can't do it. So it was, again, continuing to maintain those relationships, and also taking note of new businesses, new organizations who were vegan or who offered vegan options, so that when the time came, I could invite them to participate.
Are all the vendors at your Soul Vegan Block Party vegan?
No,
Are they
they are
100%?
not.
Okay, so you have
No,
some
not all of
vegan.
them.
Okay.
I do have some non-vegan vendors, but I didn't think that it would be fair to exclude them, especially if you have a product that is vegan. And I also felt like with non-vegan vendors, especially restaurants, to invite them to come out, it's like, look at the audience. Whatever it is that you bring to this event, this is something that you can then add to your menu to then invite us to come back.
Exactly. And Tina says going vegan saves your life, the animal's life, and the planet. So it is easy to go vegan. Thank you for that, Tina. So what can we expect this Saturday? Because I'm excited. Black Veg Society is one of the many sponsors that you have. And as we can see here, Vegan Action is the title sponsor, and they're right there in Richmond. So thank you for your support, Vegan Action, because that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yes.
So what can we expect this Saturday? I got the website up, so if you need me to go anywhere in the website, we can do that.
So as far as what to expect, we're going to have 2 DJs.
Okay.
So they're going to be playing the entire time. We're going to have
right.
speakers. We're going to have a cooking demonstration. We're also going to have a young man who is going to do a hip hop dance routine, which everybody can participate in. Of course, with the vegan lifestyle, it's not just about eating food. It's about being healthy as well. Movement, also the mental aspect of veganism. You hear about good in, good out. Again, it's not just food, it's the mental as well. And I can say personally that with going vegan, my mind cleared up tremendously. And so we're going to talk about that as well, how what it is that you are feeding yourself mentally can also have a dramatic effect, especially when going vegan. Helps clear those things right on up.
Exactly. I see my girl, Danny's book there, ready to go vegan, damn good vegan. That's amazing. Love it, love it, love it. What else? The experience. Look at that. Awesome. Opportunity to come together. An opportunity also to bring your non-vegan friends. And I was at GBB Veg Fest this weekend talking about all of that. So these are the vendors that you're going to have here. We have a responsibility to invite our non-vegan friends, family members, cousins, mates, whatever, to come out to these events and expose them to the lifestyle. And again, like you said, it's great that you have some non-vegan vendors here, veg-friendly vendors, I would say, veg-friendly vendors to offer their goods and kind of bridge the gap between these lifestyles. I mean, of course, we want everyone to go vegan. We're still in the minority, so we have a whole lot of work to do, and we have to, try to do this together. Look at this. You have so many vendors here.
We have 85 vendors this year, so we've almost doubled.
That is
from
amazing.
2019.
And
I still have people as of today asking if they could participate.
That's how it is. I love this. Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So those are all the vendors. I have some questions coming up here. So let's see what's happening. Of course, the number one concern is going to be, what are you doing to keep things safe? Tom saying they have one in Chicago, but he's concerned that they're not requiring proof of vaccination. And, my thing is, is it safe, to vaccinate, to not vaccinate? That's not the discussion that we're having here. What are you doing to be safe at your event?
So I know what event he is talking about. And I think with events like those events are gated off. Those events are ticketed. And so events like that, you can put in a standard to keep people from entering. But at my event, it's going to be at a park, and the park is wide open. This event is free. And so I can't really gate off the park. However, we will be making an announcement that we are not going to exclude anyone who is vaccinated. We're not going to ask for proof. We're not going to check temperatures, because again, anybody can come in from any direction. However, we will state, if you are ill, if you have come in contact with someone who has tested positive, or you yourself have tested positive within a certain number of days, it may not be a good idea for you to come out. We will ask that those who are comfortable with wearing a mask to wear a mask. We would prefer everyone to wear a mask, but that's also not really something that we can enforce, because people are going to do what they want. You know, there are grocery stores and restaurants that have signs posted stating this is our requirement, but people have free will and they're going to do what they want. So again, we're going to make the announcement that these are the expectations, and we hope that people will follow the rules. However, again, we cannot, because it is an open park, we cannot, check vaccine cards or take temperatures, because that's, to me, a little unreasonable.
Here is the information for the Soul Vegan Block Party this Saturday. Is at Chimborazo Park, 3215 East Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia, from 1 to 6 p.m. And we have some advice here. Let's see what we got going on. Tina says wearing masks will help. And I was going to say, yeah, look, wear your mask. Be safe, social distance, and if you don't feel comfortable, that might not be the place for you to go. So
you're right.
But this Saturday, it's happening in Richmond, Virginia. So if you want more information, you go to soulveganblockparty.com. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be doing a talk, so I'm excited about that, trying to figure out what I'm going to be talking about. I have so much information to share. Yes, Tom, lots of dancing. Yes, I will do some live streaming Saturday. I don't know how much, but I will definitely be highlighting and talking to some folks while I am out there. Tom also wants to express that he's happy that Richmond removed the Robert E. Lee statue.
They did that yesterday.
Yes, awesome. A nice gesture. Let's just see what it does for diversity and inclusion, because racism is taught. Now back to you and some questions, because I don't want to get into all of that. What were some of the challenges that you faced organizing your event this year? I mean, we know we still had COVID and things like that. Anything in particular that stood out that was a challenge, and how did you overcome it?
So I think the biggest challenge was, for me, I'm trying to think of all the many, but having to come up with a COVID preparedness plan.
Right. Right.
It's like, this isn't really something that I was thinking about. So you actually having to think hard about that, and making sure that this was something that I wanted to proceed with, because of course I want everyone to be safe. The conversations that were being had with the city, they were not the same as 2019. The expectations were just a little bit higher. And I think, honestly, the biggest challenge for me was the social media and ensuring that I was doing marketing well. I posted it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, so that I could get the word out. And I think I was most disappointed that I have a local Black vegan group, and I posted in there, I thought, fairly regularly, and I had people saying this is happening. And so I think the biggest challenge was the fact that, is Facebook showing this to my audience? I'm paying for ads, and are they doing what I need them to do to get the word out about this event? Because people are saying I have no idea that this event was even happening. I had so much fun in 2019 and didn't even know that this was going on. So I think that was, out of all the other things, that was the biggest hurdle, making sure people knew about the event. Because all this work, talking to all of the vendors, making sure that I have insurance secured so that if anything happens at the park, we're covered. those are small things, but having people there, making sure people know, that's the biggest thing.
Exactly, and I definitely feel what you're saying. Being an organizer myself, very important. You want to make sure that the message is being pushed out to the market that you're trying to reach, and that people know what's going on. But I think you've done an amazing job from the Instagram posts, from all of that. And again, Black Veg Society is happy to be a part of this. I'm proud to be sponsoring this event. Especially since we're not having Vegan Soul Fest this year. And I definitely miss the festivals. I love festivals. So this is something that the organization decided to do this year, support some Veg Fest and help with the growth of these events. So what are some tips that you want to share with other inspiring event organizers? And I think, I was thinking that based on our conversation at the GVB Veg Fest, teaching people or educating people on some of the things they need to do. I think I'm going to share some of that at the Veg Fest on top of just my general journey of being vegan and opening up Land of Kush and, just managing multiple businesses. I think that would probably be some good information to share with folks because there's just so much out there, so much to learn, so much to do. I want to see if I can share some of my knowledge and make things easier for folks. So what are some tips that you can share?
So one of my biggest tips is to ask those around you, and maybe not necessarily right next door, but reach out to other event promoters. I reached out to you. And I reached out to Black Veg Fest. I reached out to Vegan Street Fair in California. I reached out to Vegandale in the event that happens in New York and Toronto. I reached out to them. Vegan Block Party down in Florida. I reached out to these organizers and I asked them, can you tell me one or two things that are a must do and one or two things that maybe you shouldn't do? I reached out to people who do pop-ups locally, asked them for some advice, a few things here and there that you wish you had known sooner. I reached out to our local Richmond Veg Fest, asked them some things. They're 15, I think actually 16 years strong. What are some things that I need to do? What are some things that I need to know? And they were actually greatly instrumental in ensuring that I had everything that I needed in a timely manner. They checked in often. And I actually was a little bit nervous about having the Soul Vegan Block Party because Richmond Veg Fest occurred in June. And in 2019, they moved their event to September.
Wow.
And they actually moved it to the Saturday after my event.
Wow. Awesome.
And all I could think was, we're in direct competition. They're not going to want to help me. And they actually reached out to me and they were like, we hear you're doing an event. How can we help you? But anyway, long story short, reach out to people, ask questions, ask Google. Go online and ask Google. Okay, Google my phone just heard me say Google, so it just turned on, excuse me. It keeps turning on. Maybe I should turn my phone off. But anyway,
okay.
Going online. Google is a great resource.
I love Google. Google's your friend. Yeah. That's a whole nother teaching that I have to do. I got so much stuff on my plate, but there you have it. Adriea is talking about this Saturday's vegan block party, September 11th from 1 to 6. So if you feel safe, you feel up to it, you want to be around the festivities, the food, the vendors, the music, and the dancing, mask up and head on out there. It's going to be a fun time. What else do I want to ask you? How can we follow you individually? I mean, we know we're going to go to soulveganblockparty.com, but how can folks follow you or the block party?
So again, as you stated, Soul Vegan Block Party is on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter. I don't keep up with Twitter like that, so sorry. But Facebook and Instagram, Soul Vegan Block Party, and my personal page is Plant Based Ace. Again, that's Plant Based Ace, ACE, and that's where you can follow me on Instagram.
It's been such a pleasure, Adriea. Again, I am looking forward to this. You're doing amazing work. Yes, Tom, I'm going to post the link right now that you say that. Thank you. Tom is getting me
Thanks,
on
Tom.
my job. So I have posted the link, soulveganblockparty.com. So all the information is there. I will be out there speaking and also doing some live coverage. So again, much appreciated, Adriea, for taking the time out. And I just can't wait to get there. So looking forward to it.
Me either. It's 2 days away. It's almost here.
Exactly. Time flies. Awesome. Let's see if we have any more. That's it. We're going to do a segment. We got the link up. Soul Vegan Block Party on IG and Facebook, right?
That's right.
Maybe a little bit of Twitter. Yes, Tom. Thank you. They need to go to Land and Kush. Greg will make them lunch. Yeah. If you're not going to the Soul Vegan Block Party in Richmond this weekend, yes, please come down to the Land and Kush and party with us. We will be here serving it up from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you at the store if you can't make it out to Richmond. Thank you, everyone. Be well, be safe, and be blessed. All right. Have a good one.